No contact is one of the most effective strategies for healing after a breakup. It helps you regain emotional stability, focus on yourself, and detach from the past. However, many people find that their ex does not always make this process easy. Welcome. Want to take control of your relationships? Subscribe and discover how the Stoic Covenant can help you create deeper, more meaningful connections. Instead of respecting the boundaries set by no contact, they engage in behaviors that range from subtle hints to outright attempts to rekindle communication. In this video, we'll break down why your ex might be trying to break no contact, the psychology behind their actions, and how you should handle these situations to maintain control over your healing process. 1. They want you to take the risk. One of the most common reasons an ex might engage in subtle contact is that they want to reconnect, but are afraid of rejection. They may still have lingering feelings, but hesitate to reach out directly because they don't want to risk being ignored or turned down, especially if they were the one who ended the relationship. Breaking up with someone is often an act of power. But once time passes, that same person might find themselves regretting their decision. The fear of rejection becomes stronger because they assume that you might not welcome them back. Ironically, even though they rejected you initially, they are now hesitant to experience rejection themselves. To avoid putting themselves in a vulnerable position, they engage in indirect behaviors that nudge you toward making the first move. These behaviors include liking or commenting on your social media posts, watching your Instagram stories or TikToks but never directly reaching out, sending you a vague message such as, "Hey, how have you been?" without further effort, sending a song or meme that reminds them of you, hoping you take the hint. By doing this, they create an opening but shift the responsibility onto you. If you take the bait and respond, they can gauge your interest without exposing their own feelings too much. If you don't respond, they don't lose anything, at least not directly. How to handle this? If your ex truly wants to reconcile, they need to take responsibility and reach out in a direct, mature way. If they are only dropping breadcrumbs, don't pick them up. Maintain your boundaries and only entertain serious, intentional efforts, too. Feeding their ego. Another common reason an ex might attempt to break no contact is to feed their ego. Some people struggle with the idea that their former partner is doing just fine without them. When you go silent, seem happy, and show signs of moving on, it can trigger insecurity in them. For someone who thrives on validation, the thought of you being indifferent to their absence is unsettling. They might check in subtly just to see if you respond. Try to spark jealousy by posting about their amazing life post-breakup. Use social media to get a reaction, such as posting nostalgic quotes, inside jokes, or even sad songs. This behavior is not about genuine care. It's about ensuring they still have an emotional hold over you. If they can get a response, even anger or frustration, it reassures them that they still matter to you in some way. How to handle this? Be mindful of what you post online. Don't vent about your feelings, post sad quotes, or make indirect references to your ex. The less emotional response you give them, the faster they will realize that their tactics are ineffective. 3. Signs of manipulation via genuine contact. Not all attempts at contact are genuine. Sometimes an ex reaches out not because they miss you, but because they want to manipulate your emotions. Signs of manipulation include sending vague messages like, "Hope you're doing okay," without making an effort to have a real conversation. Claiming they need closure but refusing to have an open, honest discussion. Apologizing without any real accountability for their past actions. Using guilt tactics such as saying they're struggling because of the breakup. On the other hand, genuine attempts at reconciliation will be clear and intentional. If they truly want to reconnect, They will clearly express what they want and why. Apologize with sincerity and without expectation. Be consistent in their actions, not just drop in and out. How to handle this? Evaluate their message based on clarity, consistency, and accountability. If it feels like manipulation or an attempt to get a reaction rather than genuine outreach, do not engage. 4. Using friends as a messenger sometimes instead of contacting you directly. An ex will use mutual friends to send messages. This can take several forms. They casually ask about you in conversations, knowing the friend will report back. They express regret or nostalgia, hoping the friend will relay their words. They strategically show up at group gatherings where they know you'll be. This approach allows them to stay in your orbit without committing to direct communication. If they truly wanted to talk, they would reach out themselves. Instead, they use friends as a way to test the waters. How to handle this? If a mutual friend brings up your ex's comments, don't take the bait. Simply respond with something neutral like, "That's interesting," or "I hope they're doing well." If your ex really wants to reconnect, they'll find a way to do it themselves. 5. Accidental encounters. Another tactic exes use is conveniently appearing in places where they know you'll be. This might include showing up at your favorite coffee shop at the same time you usually go, attending events where they know you'll be present, suddenly becoming more active in circles of mutual friends. Some of these encounters might be pure coincidence, but if it happens repeatedly, it's likely intentional. Your ex might be trying to gauge your reaction, hoping you'll make the first move. How to handle this? If you run into them, be polite but distant. Keep the conversation short, neutral, and non-emotional. The less reaction you give, the less power they have over you. Final thoughts: stay in control. Understanding these behaviors can help you maintain no contact effectively. If your ex truly wants to reconcile, they will take clear, intentional steps to do so. No contact is not about punishing your ex. It's about prioritizing yourself. In the meantime, focus on building your confidence and self-worth, engaging in hobbies and activities that bring you joy, strengthening your relationships with friends and family. Your ex's attempts to break no contact are only as effective as the attention you give them. Stay strong, set clear boundaries, and remember that you have the power to decide who belongs in your life. If they truly want you back, they will make it clear. Until then, focus on yourself and keep moving forward. Hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for your daily dose of power-packed insights.